I'm drawing Mr. Brightside. Why? Why not? Let me make a tutorial on how to do art, because I think I can do this right now. The way I say portrait is likeness, right? Like if you're drawing a likeness, like this guy, he is a likeness. He is a likeness. He's not a likeness. I am drawing a likeness of him, which is like a portrait, but I only want to say likeness because I think it sounds fancy. It's called a portrait. But in the portrait there is a likeness, and it's basically kind of like math, right? What type of things do I have to draw to make this face look like this face? What kind of shape is here, 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 here? I see this shape here. What kind of shapes are his face made up of? And this, like, he has dog ears that I like to call. I like to call people with very sharp ears dog ears because it's so cute. It's like a dog. It's like, it reminds me of Jacob from Twilight because he's a dog person. And I think he also has ears like that. So maybe I got it from Jacob. So basically, those are the things that make up his face. Those are like the outlines and shit. And then there's this like curve here which goes up to the hair, and I want to exaggerate that curve. I draw things exaggerated because I like how that looks. This shape right here, it's like this, that there's the peak of the hair, so to say. If this was a polygon, this is how it would look like. Beginner artists, in my experience, because I used to be a beginner artist as well, right? Everybody starts out somewhere. I used to focus on details more than big picture. But the thing is, a lot of artists focus on the big picture first and then go into the detail. I think that is like kind of the difference between beginner artists and professional artists, or like artists that have been doing this for a while. I literally 5 minutes ago saw this music video again because it's a fucking classic. So this is the thing I want to focus on here. He has this fold here that makes up his eye, which I really like. Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. And you see there's a lot of things wrong with the painting that I drew, with the sketch that I drew just so far, because it doesn't really look like him. But that is okay. The fun about art is changing things as you go. You know what would not be fun? To sit here and do the first try perfectly. Figuring out a face as you go is the most fun of art, in my opinion. Like, look, this is not him, you know? You can see that. But if I move things just so incrementally... I'm like a caricature artist without the caricature, because I don't like caricatures. They're awful. I really hate caricatures. And for instance, his chin is a little bit, like, not straight or, like, round. It kind of has a, like, dent to it. And I think that's so beautiful. It adds so much character. Like, that's what I love about portraits. The way that you can just, like, see how different each face is. And all those tiny details, like a little bit of a wobbly chin or, like, a little bit of a like round nose, just makes up a beautiful face. It just makes up a human being. And this might sound, I don't know, a little bit corny or whatever, but honestly, fuck it. I love being corny and I love drawing people. Okay, this looks like ass though. I hear my neighbors talking and it's freaking me out because I think, what if I'm bothering them by making a YouTube video? But like, why would my neighbors care if I made a YouTube video? I'm just so scared that they can hear it. Every single time I make a YouTube video, I'm like, can my neighbors hear me? It's so annoying. Like, I keep on thinking about my fucking neighbors. Teeth are also incredibly difficult to draw. They give, like, a lot of personality. If you would give him a black tooth, that would be his whole personality. You could not look away from this black tooth. I urge every single person to draw. I think every single person should create things, should draw things, should make things. It's so much fun. You know, life has a lot of limited things that are fun, that don't involve taking drugs. If you have something that you like, just fucking do it. Like, I was working today and I have and I think my job is so boring. But then I get back home and then I remember, wait, I can just draw now. Like, I'm free to do whatever. And, you know, I wish I wasn't fucking working anyways, but it's also the forehead size. Yeah, that's it. You know, you can basically have a checklist, like, at your side if you want to make a portrait, like, look at forehead size. But this is, like, the same length as I think, with, like, his nose or something, so... Eyes, just, like, keep a checklist if you want to make your portraits as good as possible. Because I'm sorry, I really don't know what else to say, because I don't think there is anything else you can do at drawing portraits, because you basically just draw what you see anyways. If you see a certain shape, replicate it, draw it. And then once you're good at figuring out how shapes fit together, you're good at making portraits. But you know, there's no stress. Don't stress yourself out. In hindsight, it's been so many years I've done this, but it doesn't really feel like that. It feels like I've started drawing yesterday, because every single day is something new. Oh shit, I still fuck, I forgot to remove this thing. Great. Now I drew it on the same, I have to put the fucking layer on. Oh my god, that's so annoying. This lip is a little bit too exaggerated. I don't want him to become a literal caricature. I just want it to make a little bit stylized. You know, you have to make decisions what kind of style you want to make. It's not like you're just born with a certain style. You actually decide things to add to your style. Like that's what I don't get when people are like, how did you get your style? Or like, how did you learn this style? You basically just steal things from other artists that you like. How I think of this, for instance, this is kind of this like black shadow you see in a lot of comic art. Like this, you know, fucking pop comics with like speech bubbles and Batman is over here or something and he's saving Gotham. It's that kind of comic, right? They have like very like chunky black shadows, and that's what I really like, and I added it into the style. But you know, this is still kind of sketchy looking. Sketchy, you know, like it's a sketch, you know, because whatever. I think it's really difficult to explain, but I really try. I am trying. And the eyes are the most important, but also the most difficult. Let me just do this so you can see. I kind of just black them out. And, you know, you can add like a little bit of a different color to it later. So he looks very innocent. I mean, he is sad in this video. You know, his girlfriend just cheated on him, you know. Jealousy. Turning saints into the sea. Is calling me open. Here you see. Sometimes you draw things and you're like, oh, this eyebrow is way too low. It has to be. And you don't see these things immediately. But once you see them, you're like, this changes this whole image. I love it. He has long earlobes. Being an artist is so creepy because you notice these things, right? You have to notice these things because you're drawing them. So you're like, this guy has long earlobes. And that's probably something only he and his mother ever noticed. Honestly, I think drawing people is a pretty intimate thing. Just like staring at a face for hours. It's very intimate. That's why I think people generally like being drawn, because I draw people obviously and I see the reaction. They're like super happy about it. I think you feel appreciated. I don't know. Can you tell I've never been drawn before? And that's sad. I just turned this into a sob story. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm going grocery shopping tomorrow. I'm excited. Oh, his head is tilted. I only just noticed now. He has a little bit of a tilt. He has sad eyes, and those are my absolute favorite thing to draw on people. Sad eyes. It's when an eye is like droopy. And people just have them naturally, and it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I am not exaggerating when I say I love sad eyes. They are the most beautiful thing. I guess they're also called senpaku eyes or I'm not sure. The ones where you see a little bit of the white here, absolutely gorgeous. And he has like a not chiseled face, but he definitely has a shape to his face. This one or this one or this one or this one. It does give a little bit of a shape. If he had better bone structure, maybe he could have gotten like really good that was mean, I'm sorry. You know what actor is like, people don't really think about him, but he does exist, and he's like, I like him in things. The funny guy in How to Get Away with Murder, and the cop Orange is the New Black. He is an actor that I would recognize his face, because he has a recognizable face. What is he doing? You know, what is he up to? I think that's like the best level of actor you can be. If you would pass him on the street, you would have to turn like twice to be like, wait, is that the guy? You know? And I think that's the best level of fame to have, because like, you know, I don't know. Don't ever draw the gap here like this. Don't do that. make a tiny indentation to indicate, but we don't need to give him buck tooth or something. Make a line to indicate there being a gap, but it's not a gap. Do not draw teeth like this. He has gaps in his teeth now, and he's a smoker probably. I don't know. He's so sad. Why are you so sad? Oh, because his girlfriend cheated on him? Okay, and here's the thing. I don't give a shit if you're gonna be like, oh my god, don't do this. But I pick colors from the face, and then I use them. I use those colors. Will you sue me now? Are you gonna be like really mad at me now? Why would I need to give myself this hassle if the color is just right here? It's saving time, and you know what? I'm still an artist. I think a lot of artists, for some reason, like to put rules onto themselves, like you can't use references, you can't color pick, you can't do this. It is stupid. Why wouldn't you use the tools that you are given? Like, who is going to give you the award after 15 years of never color picking from your reference image, which just could have made your art like so much faster? Is somebody gonna mail an award to you? They're probably not. So just like stop putting like stupid rules onto yourself. Because I think I'm an artist. I think I'm a pretty good artist, and I color pick my references sometimes. I don't like to use white as a background for the eyes. The contrast is too much. If you would use like pure white, it's too much. No eyes have like pure white color. That's a cartoon eye. And the teeth as well. Teeth are also not white. They're not. Shut up. I hate people sometimes. I hate people a lot of times. That's not even true. I hate people a bunch of times. People give themselves the most stupid rules to follow, and they can just make it easier if they get over their fucking ego. If you would swallow your own goddamn ego for just 5 seconds, you would be able to make so many good pieces of art and just save time using Photoshop to its full capabilities, capacities, whatever, and just play around with it and do something fun. The biggest advice I can give to beginner artists: have fun and never stop having fun. Because once you stop having fun, your art's gonna look bad because you're not having fun with it. Because art is supposed to be fun and not tedious and not a headache and not a thing where it leads you into depression because you think you can't art good. If you just expand your definition of art, you would see that every single person is an artist. And once you see that, you don't think of yourself as a bad artist. You think of yourself as an amazing artist. I am so motivational today. What is up with me? Also, I wasn't going to spend 15 hours drawing Mr. Brightside here. I watched the video and I was like, cool. I guess I gotta draw him now. And here comes the fun part where I don't need color picker anymore because I can just choose a color and then I'm going to overlay the shit out of it and use layers and stuff. I use everything Photoshop gives me. And then I'll just fucking start painting and doing all that fun stuff. And taking control. Jealousy, turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, joking on your alibis, but it's just the price I pay. If I faked like a really random accent, like the Boston accent or the Minnesotan accent in English, and make people think I'm like from Boston or Minnesota, and then I can be like, no, I'm from Germany, and then they're like, why do you talk like that then? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I gaslight the fuck out of them. I've never been to Minnesota. What do you mean? I'm kidding. I don't want to be mean to people. I don't have the energy. I could do that if I was like a fucking menace to society, but I'm not. I am chill. But the thought is pretty funny though. I think I'm gonna listen to Mr. Brightside on repeat while I do this until I'm sick of it. You know, I think I have to see British people dance to the song one time before I die. You know what I'm struggling with right now? The fucking teeth. He looks like he's bleeding. Okay, I'm tuning in back to say, I don't know, man. So this is where we are right now, and I'm feeling pretty happy with it. It may not be a 1-to-1 portrait, but I think I definitely got the vibe down, I hope. I don't want to redraw the background. Fuck that. I'm not here to redraw shit. So we're going to do the following with the background. Guys, don't cheat on your girlfriend. Don't cheat on your boyfriend. Don't cheat in general, you know? Say to your partner, hey, I'm not in love with you anymore. I like somebody else. And then it's gonna hurt for like a long time, but at least they'll be better off. I think being cheated on is kind of a universal experience because a lot of people cheat. There's also a lot of people who don't cheat, but cheating is inevitable. I'm kidding. My favorite part is now here. I use layer, new adjustment layer, selective color. And then I go and change the colors. And I usually always turn up the reds. Always, 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 always. If you draw faces, chances are your face has a lot of red in it. Then the second thing I do, always the blacks. +2. But for this one, I already used a lot of black, so +1. You know, it's not that big of a difference, but there is a difference. It's really like tiny difference, but it's enough difference to make your art pop out even more. I went into the city, and I really wanted bubble tea yesterday, and I went into a store, and I was like ordering my bubble tea, right? She was like halfway done making it, and then when it came to paying, I was like, yeah, my card. And she's like, oh, we don't take cards. And I was like, what do you mean you don't take cards? And then I had to go. I'm not a Karen, of course. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I always apologize, even if I'm at fault or not, because I'm just polite.
Taking control, jealousy, turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis, but it's just a price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I'm Mr. Brightside.
I think I just genuinely draw people that I think are hot. That's just all I do. And you know what? I'm cool with that. I want to draw things that I find beautiful, and I think people are beautiful. And I think drawing people is amazing. And the thing I want to do for the rest of my life. If you genuinely want to support me, just like my things. And so maybe one day I'll be able to do this full time. That'd be like the goal, to be honest. Maybe I'm gonna do a Patreon, maybe not. I stream sometimes, you know, there's a few ways you could support me if you wanted to, but honestly, just having people watch my videos is enough. Maybe that like YouTube recognizes that you like this video, and then it will maybe recommend my videos to other people who might like it and who might also benefit from my hashtag art hacks. I'm kidding. I don't have any art hacks. I'm done. If I change something, I'll update you, but I think this is it. I think this is my Mr. Brightside. I'm gonna put in how it looked like an hour ago or something, or like at the beginning and then now. But for this one, I did want to record it because usually I just don't, I don't really talk about the things that I do. Like in terms of art, I barely do any videos on it. Honestly, this YouTube channel is for me to shitpost. I just want to make things that bring me a little bit of joy editing wise, because I really like editing. Thank you for watching this video. This one was fun. Might there be some issues? Maybe. I don't know. There could be. Goodbye. Sweet lullabies choking on your alibis, but it's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I'm Mr. Brightside.